Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It is Wednesday, November the 26th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local market is set for a strong opening with ASX futures up 1%. Global equity markets rallied overnight as investors remain optimistic about a US interest rate cut in December. A raft of disappointing economic data supported the case for the Fed to lower rates when it meets early next month. And that optimism saw stocks on Wall Street advance, although weakness in the tech sector limited the Nasdaq's gains, while the Dow was boosted by healthcare stocks. Among them, a strong rise there in Merck. AI bellwether Nvidia extended its losses for a fifth session in a row, pulling the Philadelphia Semiconductor Index lower. Alphabet shares rose on reports Meta was in discussions to use Google's AI chips in its data centers from 2027 and rent chips from Google Cloud by next year. Softer than expected retail sales data and a Dow consumer confidence reading raised concerns over the health of the consumer. However, shares in department store chain Kohl's and clothing retailer Abercrombie & Fitch surged after the companies hiked their annual earnings forecasts. Home Depot and Nike both advanced, while shares of Best Buy rose as it raised its annual revenue forecast, betting on strong holiday demand for its discounted products. But Burlington stores tumbled after third quarter revenue missed estimates. The US-listed shares of Alibaba slipped even after the Chinese e-commerce firm beat quarterly revenue expectations. And cryptocurrency exchange shares Coinbase and Strategy slid in the face of ongoing Bitcoin weakness. Well, a number of US economic data releases, which had been delayed by the government shutdown, have been released showing further signs of weakness in the US economy. Retail sales in September rose just 0.2%, well short of forecasts, while producer price inflation increased slightly ahead of expectations to 2.7% year on year. And the Conference Board's measure of consumer confidence fell to a 7-month low in November, with fewer households planning to buy motor vehicles, houses and other big ticket items over the next 6 months, while house prices rose 1.3% year on year. Meanwhile, White House National Economic Council Director Sean Hassett is reportedly seen by advisors and allies of President Trump as the frontrunner to become the next Federal Reserve Chair. In the latest development on the plan to end the war in Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Ukraine is ready to advance a US-backed framework for ending the war with Russia and discuss disputed points with President Trump. In talks, he said, should include European allies, saying that framework is on the table and we're ready to move forward together with the USA with the personal engagement of President Trump. Well, US Treasury yields have fallen further amid the flurry of weak economic data. The 2-year Treasury yield falling to 3.46%, while the 10-year fell below 4%. The US dollar index is down around 0.5% on the day. The Aussie is trading at 64.7 US cents. Oil prices have continued to fall on the prospect of an end to the war in Ukraine. Brent crude futures down around 1.5% to $62 a barrel. Copper rose more than 1%. Iron ore rose 0.8% to $106 a tonne. And gold has slipped to be around $4,130 an ounce. And Bitcoin has weakened to around 87,000 US dollars. Locally today, we get the first monthly read on the Consumer Price Index, while across the ditch, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand is widely expected to cut its official cash rate by 25 basis points to 2.25%. On the corporate calendar, Fisher & Paykel Healthcare is set to report results, and those companies due to hold AGMs include Harvey Norman, Liontown, Lynas Rare Earths and Megaport. That is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.